Okay, guys, so welcome to Empowered Elite's team call for June 8th. Before we dive in and get started, I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of the Success Club promotions and prizes for this month, in case you didn't see what I posted in the team page. So this is considered the month of diamonds. So if anybody rank advances to diamond in the month of June, you'll be getting a special t-shirt from the CEO, and their hopes, I guess, were for people to be wearing them at Summit and be a part of the blue t-shirts. But even if you're not going, it's still a really awesome thing to earn. The next thing is that anyone who hits Success Club this month, and I'm reading this so I make sure I get his name right, you'll win an exclusive access to keynote speaker Marcus Buckingham, who's a British American, New York Times bestseller, author, researcher, motivational speaker. And any time that I have earned a call like this with a speaker that they choose, they're absolutely incredible and super motivating. So push for that. It's a really awesome opportunity for you to learn from somebody very respected, obviously, in the business that we do. So the next thing is that anyone who's going to Summit, if you are in the top 800 challenge pack sellers of June, you can win a photo opportunity with celebrity trainers at Summit. So if you want to look at the FAQ on that, there's a little bit more details. It has to do with diamond rank and below and diamond rank and above, but that's a really awesome opportunity to have professional pictures done with celebrity trainers if you are coming to Summit. So just wanted to make sure that everybody's aware of that, and you can let your coaches know if they're not on. And now, does anybody have rank advancements from last week or anything that they want to shout out before we get started? Kelly?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a rank advancement, but I just wanted to recognize Katie because she's killing it this month with Success Club 8th on the 8th, and I think that's awesome. So I just wanted to congratulate her. I don't know if she's here. Usually she is, but
She's not on right now. But congrats, Katie. Way to go. We have a lot of people pushing really hard at the beginning of this month. It's awesome to see. Okay, so tonight I really just wanted to do an open Q&A session because I feel like it's important that we really play into the different strengths that we have on the team, and we really learn from each other instead of me always teaching, because I do learn a lot from you guys as well. And also, I know I'm constantly getting questions all week long about pretty much anything you can imagine, about placement, about volume, about how to talk about the coaching opportunity, about how to brand yourself on social media. So I would love if you have some questions, if you want to post them in the comments, or if you just want to unmute yourself and shout them out, and I can answer it, or if somebody else on the team wants to go ahead and give their 2 cents on it, I would love that as well. And don't worry if there's no topics, I'm sure I can come up with something. Anybody want to go first?
I can just share with the group what we were chatting about earlier because it might happen to them as well. But I have a really engaged challenger. She started a few months ago and she's killing it and loves Shakeology. And she's one of those people that just has a big group of friends. And I knew in the beginning, she was going to be potential to be a good coach. And so I had mentioned it to her and she kind of was like, oh no, I don't want to post on Facebook. I don't have to do what you do. I don't want to share my pictures and I don't want to do all that stuff because it sounded scary to her. And I was like, no, we have a private group. Obviously some of her friends were like, hey, I want to do this. And so over the time she's been like, hey, someone wants to sign up. And I was like, you can sign her up. And so I coached her through how to do that. And she's just not available. She's not available to get on calls. She isn't available to get on the phone. I sent her a lot of instructions over messaging. And she signed up 2 or 3 people. And I don't know if she's doing it right. One of them she convinced to join and the girl went to another coach. Another one joined and is really active in our group, but she only signed up as a customer. So she doesn't even get the credit for being a coach. And I even said to her, I figured it out. What happened? You should upgrade so you save next month on Shakeology. And she didn't even like respond to that. So I'm getting a lot of like no response. And every once in a while, I just get this from her. She says, I signed up someone else. And I'm like, wait, what are you doing? And then she'll like send me a note when she first did it and she didn't change her EFT management. So she's like, oh, I only got a check for $47. And I was like, yeah, you have to like do direct deposit. Like she's not not letting me help her at that level. And so that's where I was just trying to figure out what's the best way to break through, communicate with her and get her, you know, all the right instructions without just diving in and sending her to boot camp. Cause I don't want to overforce it if she's just doing like a bunch of friends, but if she's really interested in doing that, and I can't really assess that from her lack of communication. So that was my question.
And what I explained to Rachel was that it's really important to find a way to talk to her about the coaching opportunity because she's already basically coaching, and see if it would be a good fit for her life. And if not, a good opportunity for that is people like that are great if they just want to sign people up under them to help them get their Shakeology paid for every single month as well, even if she doesn't really want to coach. But yes, it is important that she's doing it the right way if she's going to be doing that.
Rachel, can you send her like the steps for just the mobile app? Because like that to me is so easy. And when I just had someone sign up, like it's so easy to walk through that versus when I originally had just the long list of step-by-step instructions. That way, hopefully she doesn't mess it up and just say, you know, click here, click here, click here. Like just so it's easy because she sounds like she's so on the go.
Yeah, she has the instructions, so she's signing people up, but she might not be signing them up as a coach, and she might not be explaining which program might be the best for her and that sort of thing. So 2 of them she signed up as customers only, and then so she's not even getting credit for that. And then they bought challenge packs with Shakeology, like the same price. Like why didn't you just be a coach? You're just spending more money next month. Like you don't have to. So I'm trying to like coach her to help make sure she's like at least communicating the right things. And then also because now she has just one coach under her right leg, I wanted to make sure she switched her placement so she's Emerald. And so I don't know if she even knows how to like navigate the online office to even do that. So that's where I've sent her instructions, but again, without her responding back to me, I don't know if she's like hearing it or like,
Well, and that's
go for it.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I actually had a person the other day that was signed up someone, and then she was going to sign up another, and I did the whole like right leg, left leg, and she was like, this is really confusing to me. And I get it because it was very confusing in the beginning. So I said, just give me your login, your password. And I just went in, and I know it sounds bad, but now I have like a bunch of people saved. So in the off chance, I just know. But I told her, I'm like, I can do it, and then I can give you instructions. She's like, I'll learn it. She's like, but I just don't want to mess this up. And so I like switched it for her. So maybe if you voice message her and then,
that's a good point.
You know, and then like say, give me your thing so I can at least help you this time. And then I'll give you the instructions, but I don't know. It's hard.
I think it's just important for her to know all the benefits of what she's doing with coaching and that she can see even more benefits if she does it the right way. And
I have sorry, I just want to jump in because I'm going to lose service, but Rachel, I have a upgrade. I don't know if it's within their first 30 days, but I have an email that like literally lays out everything about how to upgrade from a customer to a coach, and like with a screenshot that I did and an arrow, like where to press so they can do that for the next month. So if it is within 30 days, you could just send her the email and be like, hey, send this to your peeps. I don't know if that would help or not, but
that would be amazing. Yeah. Cause I tried to check today, and I won't see probably till tomorrow if this second person is signed up correctly. But if she did only do a customer, then I could send her that, and it would be good for next time.
Kelly, would you mind posting that in the team page? Please.
I don't think it has to be just 30 days anymore. I think they changed it that anybody could upgrade for free at any point.
Yeah, I agree, Stephanie. I think they changed it 2 months ago.
Yeah. It's been a little while because I was really excited. I was like, yay, as long as you bought the challenge pack, you could upgrade. So
Right. Yeah. Awesome. Well, now you guys know what to do if you ever run into that situation, luckily. Who else has questions? Anything and everything.
I have a question, Dana.
Okay, go. I was going to say, I feel like we're in 5th grade where I'm like, am I going to have to start making people raise hands?
So, and I don't know if this is just a whole other like meeting sometime of having someone that really just like walks through this, but I feel like I don't know if I'm doing it right now, where I have only, like, you know, let's say 5 people, 5 coaches, and some of them are not active on like my left leg, but one of them is emerald. So I've obviously been focusing so much on making sure someone on my right leg gets to emerald as well, so I can get to diamond. And so I've been signing like everyone else up under my right leg, because in the off chance one of them kind of starts signing people up. So now I have, I think, like 5 people, coaches on my left leg, and I want to say I have like 15 on my right leg. And so I don't know when it comes, if that's the right kind of route to take, or am I messing something up when it comes to like the balance of my like left leg versus right leg, and you know, how important that is.
First, it's really important. I was talking to Michelle about this earlier, that you need to know what your strong leg is and what your weak leg is. And I'm actually going to have Kathy Reuter, I don't know if you guys know her, and her husband talk on our team call next week about volume and placement and cycling and rank advancing and star diamond bonuses and all that kind of stuff, because although I know it, I'm not the greatest at teaching it or explaining it. So they're going to hop.
Dana, this was, Kelly had these questions, not all these questions specifically, but she was requesting info about this too. That was part of my stuff on the Star Diamond family questionnaire thing. Like, I don't feel like I'm good at explaining it either, but I don't know why I was just interrupting you. I'm sorry. But Kelly, it's next Wednesday that we are going to have someone that knows what the hell they're talking about, like really knows numbers.
Okay.
There was some other stuff I was going to post. That thing that Nick Reuter posted today in that group was kind of helpful, because it made me, like, I went and did those calculations. But you're putting everybody on what leg right now, Kelly?
I think I'm putting them all, I have to look, but I think I'm putting them all on my right leg.
So that's probably good, because you're on my left leg. So that's presumably your strong leg, because you're getting volume from me on that leg. So like right now I put everybody on my right leg, because I have all my working coaches and all my volumes on my left leg. So like anybody that comes to me needs to go on my right. Does that make sense?
But hold on, because I want to backtrack for a second, so everybody else that's not yet knows or understands anything about volume and why you build the way that you do.
Okay.
First of all, it's really important at the beginning of your business to decide whether you really want to focus more on building for rank, or if you want to focus on building for volume, because you build differently depending on what that is. And of course, as you grow, you're going to be moving forward in both. But some coaches, I'll use Rachel Khalil for an example. She has focused on volume since day one. She probably makes 3 times the amount of income that I do right now, because I focused on getting to 5-star and elite first before really focusing on building volume. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. It just depends on really what your goal is. Is your goal more so, do you like recognition more and a little bit less income, or do you like more financial freedom quicker and don't really care so much about the ranks, kind of a thing. So like I said, there's no right or wrong way. It's just what's right for you. Kelly, I would say that in the beginning, when you are working to build to diamond, that it's also important to have extra people on both of your legs. I know that that's kind of one of the things about this business, is you never know who's going to become an active coach, and you never know if one of those people that you put on your left leg will end up coaching and become another emerald. But in the long run, it's all going to work out, because you're going to want more than one emerald on each leg. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so in terms of all that, why I keep stressing that diamond is so important is because diamond puts you at the place of highest potential to really start building a business and really start to see income growth. And that's for a few reasons. Number one is that at Emerald rank, you cap out at making $250 a week in cycles. It doesn't matter if you have a downline of 1,000 people, you can never make more than $250 a week in cycles at Emerald rank. So at Diamond, you have the ability to cycle way more than you do at Emerald. And at Emerald, you cycle at $14 a cycle, whereas at Diamond, you cycle at $18. And so $4 may not really seem like a big difference, but when you are cycling multiple times every single week, it adds up to a lot over the course of a month and the course of a year. So basically, when you're sitting at Emerald rank and you're continuing to build volume by, bringing on new customers and maybe new coaches, you're missing out on a lot of income potential when you're not yet at Diamond. So that is, Diamond is not just about being recognized for that shiny thing. Diamond is saying that you're really serious about building this business and building income for yourself. Beyond that, once you do get to Diamond rank is where you can really start to learn more and understand more about how to build volume, because that is when, like Laura and I were just talking about, when okay, so let me explain your weak leg versus your right leg. So we all know that we have a left and a right leg in this business. Your weak leg is going to be the leg opposite of what you're on under your coach. So for example, I am signed up on my coach's right leg. So my right leg is my strong leg, because anybody that my coach signs up, anybody that my coach puts on her right leg adds to my volume on that leg. And the left leg, which is basically pretty much dead when you start, because there's nothing there until you start to build it, it takes a lot longer to grow. But once you get to Diamond rank, you can then start really adding everybody into your business on that weak leg so that you can start to balance out your volumes. Because the way that you make a cycle, you would ultimately, ideally, like your volumes on both of your legs to be a 2-to-1 ratio. So say my right leg volume is 6,000. I want my left leg to be 3,000, because then I'm going to maximize all the cycles that I can. Does that make sense to everybody? I know that some people are visual learners, and that's why I asked Kathy and Nick to come on next week, because they're great at explaining this. But, it's important, Kelly, where you're at right now, that you think about putting some extra people on both legs, because people do go inactive, people do quit. Coaches do drop off, and you might be super, super close to Diamond, and you might lock in somebody, as an Emerald on that right leg, and then you have 2 people quit on your left leg and you have nobody else to back it. And then you still don't hit Diamond, or you lose Diamond once you get there. So the whole concept is that you want to overbuild. You want to have more people in those places that you need them to be, so that you don't drop in rank once you do secure a rank. Does that make sense? Does that help? You're muted.
Haha, I was talking to myself. Yeah, I was folding socks. Yeah, I think I've been so focused this month to just get to Diamond, because I think we're going to get there this month. But I do have like 3 people that are 1 away from Emerald on one side, and then my husband is the one that's on Emerald on the other. So I know he's not going anywhere, because I'm not going to let him change anything. But after I kind of got there, I was going to start kind of signing everyone else up on my other leg to kind of start building that. But I just wasn't sure if I was thinking about it the right way.
Yeah, but so Kelly, you're building the right leg right now, because the leg that Brian's on is actually your strong leg.
Okay, so it's actually okay. Like then where I'm
what
at,
you're doing
fine.
is actually fine, because your legs, you have quite a few people on both legs anyway. Like you're pretty solid as long as you keep Brian solid. So like, because I have you and Michelle and Sina and like a few other people on my left leg. That's my strong leg. So I pretty much don't even worry about that anymore. And I only put people on my right leg right now.
Okay.
Unless my like other leg gets shaky, I only have to worry about my right leg, because my right leg is so far behind my left leg, because I get all this volume from Dana's left leg.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's like trying to balance that, if that makes sense to everybody. Yep. Okay. That's good to know.
The last thing that I want to mention in terms of building and placement to working to diamond, but even thinking one step ahead of that, because if you guys are going to push towards 2-star after you get to diamond, this is an important thing to understand, is that you want to have an equal amount of coaches working on each leg. And like I said, this is kind of tricky because you don't know if some people become coaches after their customers. You don't know if somebody is going to be a coach and then they're going to drop off. But ideally, once you are a diamond and you want to work towards 2-star diamond, you have to have one person, one diamond on your left leg and one diamond on your right. You have to have one on each leg, just like for diamond, you have to have one emerald on each leg. So that's important when you're talking to people about the coaching opportunity. If they're signing up as a coach and they're diving into coaching from the get-go, you want to make sure that you place them in a good spot and on which leg you would ideally need them to be on to push for a star diamond rank. So just want to throw that out there as well. Lindsay, what did you say? How do you pick which leg you put a new sign on? In the new coach boot camp, I have a video on the Coach Online office that explains where you go in, because you go under business in your Coach Online office, and then you go under my preferred placement, and you can select left or right. This is why we need a one-on-one call. How do you find out what leg? Stephanie, you are on my right leg. I have everybody on my wall. And guys, in the beginning, I would highly suggest, because now I have too many people to keep it tracked like this, but in the beginning, I literally drew out on a bubble sheet on a piece of paper, me at the top, and then I wrote out the people that I had on my left legs, my right legs, and I had everybody written so I could look right at it on the wall, instead of every time I was signing somebody up and I wanted to know where to put a coach or a customer, I could look up at my wall and say, okay, well, I should really be putting this person on my left leg, or I should be putting them on my right leg, or whatever. It's important to know these things, and I know that I'm not the best about teaching them. That's why we're having a call on it next week. So hopefully that will be really helpful to everybody. Who else has questions?
If you have an emerald coach on one of your legs and then they fall off totally, they don't want to do it anymore, they stop drinking Shakeology and everything, what happens to the two of their discount coaches? Do they come to you, or is it just?
Okay, two scenarios, because it depends on if they cancel and terminate their account or not. If they are just somebody that chooses to go inactive, they cancel their Shakeology order, whatever that situation is, those people are still going to sit under their name. They're kind of like stuck in the Bermuda Triangle. If somebody is to cancel and terminate their account completely, and you'll get an email if somebody terminates an account, it'll say like coach cancellation form or whatever. I've had that a couple times. I had 2 coaches get to diamond and completely quit and terminate their account. So those customers, if they do quit and terminate, they will all roll up to you and they'll become your customers. So they're not just like thrown out into nowhere, but they become yours. And then it's your job to reach out to them and see how you can help them. And if they need to get in a challenge group or, learn what their goals are. So.
Right. Okay. I've wondered that, because thinking about signing people up under other coaches, like if someone says, hey, I have a friend who wants to sign up, I should sign them up under them. But then what happens if they fall off? Then do I lose all of it?
No.
Okay.
And I mean, I would suggest, if you have people that are referring people or wanting to sign them up under them, but they don't really want to coach.
Right.
I always ask them, like, are you going to help them through the process? Like, do you want to lead them through this journey, or would you like to take them on and put them in my challenge group and act as if they were my own challenger? Because I don't want people getting signed up and then just kind of thrown to the wind just because they wanted to make the commission off of it to help pay for their Shakeology.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want to make
Yeah.
sure that everybody's taken care of,
Of
no
course.
matter how they're signed up. So
Okay.
And Kelly, no, they don't have to call and be asked to switch to you. Is that just from now? Yeah. If like when my sister was one of my diamond coaches at one point, and she's since started midwifery school. So she, for a while, was just like inactive, and then she ended up just canceling her account basically because we talked about it, and it like was financially better for me if she canceled, because then everybody under her became my coaches. Like every coach of hers just automatically went to the leg that she was on. So that's the other thing you have to think about. It was a little hard for me because they were all on my strong leg to begin with, which kind of sucked. But they all at least now are my people. So I'm getting commissions for the people I'm actually helping now, whereas, she was getting the commissions for it before that. So they don't have to be switched or anything. They just automatically get replaced under you on that leg.
And I think it's important in talking about, having people sign people up under them to get their Shakeology paid for. I always explain to people that either they can just refer them to me and I will coach them. And I do have a lot of people that just say like, hey, my sister wants to sign up and I'm going to send her to you. Like they don't want anything to do with it. They don't care about the commission. And it's honestly easier that way because then I don't lose track of people. But on the flip side, I think it's important that they know the coaching opportunity as well. You know what I mean? If they're curious about signing people up and sharing it, probably because they love it or they're having great results with it, that's a great person to share the coaching opportunity with as well, further than just paying for their Shakeology. Who else has questions?
Hey, Dana, I wrote it in the comments. Just a quick question. I know we get notification when a coach cancels, but if a customer decides that they're canceling their Shakeology, we get no notification because I have past customers that are still listed as my customers, so I don't know whether or not they canceled, even when I follow up with them and they just ignore me.
Yeah. More often than not, that's probably because they're still paying the $15.95 a month, so their account is still showing active under you.
No, even if they weren't discount coach.
You will get you'll get email alerts as well that says like it's been 90 days since somebody's
Dana, she's just talking about
customers,
not discount coaches. You don't get any sort of notification.
Oh, no, you don't get notifications.
Yeah,
the
they
only,
continue to be
the
your
only
customer.
way to see that is in your downline. And that's why it's really important to be checking your downline. I posted a graphic in the team page, I don't know, probably a month or so ago that said, checking your sponsorship drill down. I'll post that again tonight. And I think I made a video on it a while back. I'll post the graphic again tonight. But when you go into your Coach Online office and you click on my sponsorship drill down under your business and you look at it and you see next to somebody's name, it'll say, if they're active, it says black it'll say black active. It'll be black. If they're inactive completely, as in they've canceled their order, it's going to say black. It's going to say inactive in black. And if they are somebody that you see somebody's thing next to their name, if it says inactive in red, that is when you want to go and you want to click. I'm just going to show you guys because.
Well, I was talking more about like the customers that buy the challenge pack, but not as a discount coach.
Right. So Stephanie, I'll answer your question really quickly. You do not get notified that they you can look on their account if you checked all your customers, and initially it'll say HD delivery, yes, a check mark. And then if they cancel that will not be checked anymore.
Okay.
So that's the only way really to know, other than like communication with them, with, like you said, a lot of times, especially free lead customers, like never talk to you. So
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, for that part, you don't get any notification about it.
Thank you.
Yep.
I also noticed when one of my customers actually, I think either returned it or canceled it, and I saw that it was like a credit. So I got my big commission then went away like the next month because I guess she like canceled it or whatever. So it was a negative number, and so that's how I knew that she canceled it. And I reached out, and I don't know, I think now she's selling oils or something.
Oftentimes too, if people return something, you'll get negative volume points once in a while. So it's just, we can do a whole call dedicated to navigating your online office if you want, further than just the basics, like where to look for all these things, where to see actives, inactives, how to check volume for people, because those are all really important things to know, because you guys should know that if somebody has a Shakeology HD order, where it's coming to them every single month, that they should get 90 PV, 90 personal volume points for that, just like you guys do. When you look in the center, when you sign into your Coach Online office, in that little box in the middle where you check your Success Club points, it'll say 90 PV. And, once your Shakeology order has been shipped, then it says yes, right? Does everybody at least know that? Yeah. Okay. So the same thing with your customers and your coaches. If their order is active, it'll show 90 PV once their order has shipped that month. So we can do a call on your downline if you want to, a whole call, because that's a lot to get into. Stephanie, was that the answer you were looking for? And thanks, Laura.
Yeah, Laura kind of got
I don't
that.
sign up a lot of customers. I sign up pretty much everybody as discount coaches. I don't give people an option.
I try to, but there are some that are very hesitant to do it for fear that
I shouldn't say I don't give them an option. I explain both, but I explain the benefits and the discount and all that. So, yeah. Who else has questions? Nobody? Guys, listen, I better not get questions the next 2 days. I'm just kidding. I'm really totally just kidding, but I know that there's a lot of questions I'm sure people have. You don't need to be shy.
Here, wait, I have a really stupid one. I have a customer ordered a size challenge pack. Wait, but she didn't get a shaker cup. And when I told her just call customer service, they told her she doesn't get one with a challenge pack. So she got Shakeology, but no cup.
I don't know. You have to honestly look at the details in the shop of what the size challenge pack comes with, because I think there is some programs that don't come with one. I don't know why.
But I know the size used to, at least, because it came with a shaker cup that had like a turquoise blue labeling on it.
And it said size.
Yeah. I would have her call again and say that was her understanding and she wants to be shipped to Shakeology. I mean, it's like $2.50. You think they can
I told her I'd order it for her, but
I know. Like,
Stephanie, what you should
just ship
call
it
customer service for her and explain that you're a customer, because I've done that many times when somebody's missing something. Because once in a while, people will be missing containers or like a bonus CD or whatever, and you can just call and you can give them their Coach ID and explain to them what they ordered. Like they won't allow you to make any changes on somebody's account, but you can by all means call and say like, hey, my customer got her challenge pack and she's missing this. Can I please?
think if you have the Coach ID in the last 4 of the credit card or something, they actually will let you like you can say, I want this shipped to her. This is like a customer service situation. And like, I want her to be happy or whatever,
I'll try that, because otherwise I was just
I
buy
do it online. Like, don't call. I just do the online chat. That tends to be a little less like annoying.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know the number to customer service, you should learn it by heart. Just put it.
The live chat is a little
Store it in your phone. Yes, and live chat is awesome too. Absolutely. It's honestly easier sometimes than calling, because sometimes you wait forever when you call.
There's no wait with live chat. The only thing I have a problem with live chat is I do it at work a lot, and like there's no like ding, and sometimes they'll be like, Laura, are you there? And like I'll be or something, and they're like disconnected, and I'm like, fuck, I just like totally had it all explained to you, and now it's gone. But it is easier, I think.
I agree.
So I don't have a question. I just have something that maybe everyone would just be aware of. But my credit card expired. That was using it for Shakeology and also the coaching, fee. And so it was really, really complicated to get it like set back, like 3 months. That I kept having, they kept sending me a note like you're inactive or your call, and I freaked out like it's gonna like mess up everything if I'm not having the order. And I called and they were like, oh, we got it. And then I thought, okay, good, it's set. And then like the same thing happened the next month, and I'm like, we just solved this last month, what's going on? So it had like 3 or 4 calls. So if anyone has a customer or a challenger or somebody who has experienced that, or you see someone inactive, just know it's not always easy. It could be harder. So just stay on it and make sure that you're working with them, because I definitely had like 4 or 5 calls with them where they just wouldn't save my credit card info for some reason. So.
That's a really good thing to mention, Rachel, because that's also a really important reason why checking your sponsorship drill down is important, and seeing if people are going inactive or not. Because if you can see when it goes red inactive, then you can look and see if their order is shipped, and you can check in, because oftentimes something like that happens. And that actually happened to me once when I was in a qualification period for a star diamond rank, and I almost lost it because of that. So if when you guys are getting close to diamond, or you're trying to hold diamond, it's really important to be checking your drill down to see that there's no issues like that are sneaking by you, because it sucks more than anything to lose it for something like that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's important for you also to make sure that your account's active. Does anybody else have questions? I don't want to keep you guys too late if nobody does. No. Okay. If there is no more questions, I would love to hear from you guys, and I'll post something in the team page tonight. I'll just post a graphic or something, and you guys can comment on it. But I would love to know topics and things that you guys would like to cover on team calls, because every week I try to come up with a topic that I think is going to be most helpful for everybody as a whole. But I would really love to start targeting things that you guys feel like you more personally want to dive into learning, so that I can, have guest speakers to come on and talk about those topics, or I can help cover things like that for you, or somebody else on the team that's great in that area can do a team call for us on it. So I'll post a graphic in the team page tonight, and if you guys would comment on it and, maybe pull 3 things that you would really like to have calls or learn more about, whether it's your drill down or your downline, or bringing on coaches, or placement, or how to use social media or branding, whatever it is. But I would love to know. Michelle, do I use Instagram? I do use Instagram. I didn't use it for a really long time, or I should say I was very inconsistent with it. I typically just kind of copy paste one of the posts that I'm putting on Facebook and post on Instagram once a day. And in doing that for the past year, I've have over 1,000 followers, but I really haven't dove into using that as a networking place so much, because it's very strange to me. But Kelly on our team, Kelly Kuntz, the one that was on earlier that's gone now, Kelly kills it on Instagram. Kelly uses Instagram a lot to build her business, just like most of us use Facebook. So, but my 2 cents on social media platforms is that until you really nail down one, I wouldn't branch out into another, because it's hard enough to be consistent with sharing on Facebook and really getting the hang of that, and your brand and who you're trying to reach, and the content that you're sharing and all those things, before you go out and branch out and start working on a whole nother social media site, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I wanted to be really great at Facebook, and I'm still working on it, before I branched out and totally started to build another platform, because can be a little overwhelming. I personally think, anyways. Does anybody else use Instagram? Want to chip in? Yeah, you're kind of ish about it too.
I'm totally ish about it because I just feel like I have Instagram and I have a like page, and I feel like, I don't know, it's a lot to keep track of. Like,
That's what I
it's just
mean.
hard to
Yeah.
remember to, and I'm like having my website developed right now. So like the thought of doing like Facebook, my website, my like page, and Instagram, like I'll have a couple days in a row where I'm really good at Instagram and I get a few new followers, and then I like don't post for 5 days. Like and Instagram's not that useful if you're not really consistent on it. Like people aren't going to continue following you unless you're like interesting. So if you get some followers, it doesn't mean they're still following me 5 days later. If I'm boring, they're not going to keep following me, and I'm kind of boring because I like fall off the face of the earth like every few days. So I would say initially, like when you're starting your business, like focus. Like I'm pretty decent at Facebook, or if you're not good at anything, find one thing and get good at it first. Like don't overwhelm yourself with a bunch of different social media platforms. It's not.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. The other side of that, and this is my kind of 2 cents of how I've been doing it, or at least my intentions for it, is that by at least posting once a day, and by all means, you guys know that you can recycle content. You can use the same content on different social media sites. You can tweak it a little bit, make it shorter for Instagram, whatever. But the reason why I've been posting, once a day or so on Instagram for a year is because I wanted to build a following there first, so that when I decide to go and branch out and use Instagram, that I have some people on there, if that makes sense. And the same idea with a like page. I've had a like page for over a year now, and I still only have about 1,400 followers on there. It takes a long time to really build traction unless you're going at that full force. But I don't think there's anything wrong with having one and copy pasting, something that you're sharing on your personal Facebook to your like page. Just so that you have some content on there and you can start to kind of gain a following, so that when you are ready to use something like that there's something there, if that makes sense. But it doesn't really take a lot of extra time to post the same picture and the same wording just somewhere else. You know what I mean? So it's really up to you guys and how much you really want to sign up to do. Does anybody have any last questions? Kelly, you want to come do my laundry?
This is like, hey, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Listen to the
I was
cause.
doing earlier today too.
Getting crap done.
She just posted on my timeline that she doesn't have any wine, so apparently that means she has to fill it close.
It's like a major foul play. I'm out of wine. The husband's in Detroit, and I'm like, this sucks. And family's coming in, so I have to fold laundry.
Energized, and it'll be done in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Unrelated, how do I not sound like a commercial when I bring up Shakeology? Okay, so this could be a whole call in itself about how to share Shakeology. I actually did a post in the team page with some tips and topics about sharing Shakeology a little while ago. If you go into the photos of the team page, you'll find it. But I think that number one, it's important to share, like say I'm talking to somebody and I want to explain Shakeology to them. I just explain, like if they tell me, okay, let's backtrack to forming, because that's where this really starts. When you're talking to somebody and you're wanting to get to know about their goals, I always, let me see if I can find them, but I always ask people these questions that are really getting deep down into their goals, so that I'm kind of opening a door for myself to be able to explain Shakeology and the benefits of it and how it's helped me. So when I'm forming, I ask them these questions, and more often than not, somebody tells me that they struggle with something like this. I just posted all the questions that I ask in every single conversation in the comments. So a lot of times people will say to me, I struggle with energy. I struggle with cravings really awful. I crave a lot of sugar. I crave chocolate. I crave whatever. You know, and they'll give me some kind of door open to why I can explain Shakeology would benefit them. Or they tell me they struggle with staying on track with nutrition, or that they have late night cravings, or that they drink a ton of coffee, whatever. So I can take that then, that what they said, and I can explain to them that, would you mind if I send you a video to learn about Shakeology? Because it's been an absolute game changer for me in that department. I used to have really low energy. I used to have a lot of cravings. But what happens is when you give your body the dense nutrition it needs, then it can function and feel its best. And this is where we use third-party tools to do the work for us. And if you want to see this whole process, there is a file in the new coach boot camp about it. And I also have a file in the team page that is specifically about how to share Shakeology. Then I asked them, I just posted it in the comments, but I asked them if I can send them a video to learn more about Shakeology, and I let the video do the explaining for me. So I'm not trying to list off, it has phytonutrients, it has superfoods, it has this, it has protein, it has that, because people don't really care about that. People want to know how it's going to benefit them, how it's going to make them feel, what your experience is with them. And this is like what I was saying, that facts tell, but stories sell. So if you can explain why it's helped you so much, why it's benefited you so much, and then you can get them to watch that video more often than not, people are like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. I need that. I want to try it. So it really takes the pressure off you of trying to explain everything that it is, because that's really hard to do and nobody wants to listen to that either. So does that answer your question? Oh, and Rachel mentioned the feel, felt, found approach, which is, I did a post in the team page about that as well, but the feel, felt, found is a really great way to overcome objections about Shakeology. You know, like I felt like that was really expensive too, but here's what I found, and here was my experience with it, and here was why it was worth it, and then go into explaining it more and sending a video or something like that. So learning how to overcome objections is really important. Okay, good.
I know how you feel. I felt that way too. It seemed like a really big amount of money, but blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
I feel like that's actually super helpful, as simple as it sounds, is like.
Feel, felt, found is like the best approach to overcoming any objection, whether it's about
Well,
Shakeology.
like, I know how you feel. Like, I kept it secret from my husband and like put the $150 on a credit card and didn't tell him till it was already on its way, but it blah, blah, blah. You know, like I found that it like brought us closer together because he was so proud of me for like doing so well or whatever, you know.
That's, I always say with the feel, felt, found, like when I get the money objection about how like I used to spend money on coffee every single day. I used to spend money on vitamins. I used to buy junk food. I used to buy crap because I had cravings. And that I've actually saved money now because I'm able to stay on track with my nutrition. I don't go buy coffee every single day. You know what I mean? You have to help them understand and see the value in it beyond, because all they're looking at right there is a price tag. You know what I mean?
Well, and remind people when it, like, I just feel like this is a helpful reminder in general, but as a meal replacement, like, you typically don't go to the grocery store and buy 30 days worth of meals. So, like,
right.
The 150 sounds like a big amount, or the 140 or whatever, but like that's a month full of your breakfast or whatnot, or a month full of your lunch or whatever you you're using.
Taryn always says that too. Taryn explains it like you're getting 30 dense nutrition meals in this one bag. Like that's 30 meals over the course of an entire month that you don't have to think about anymore.
Right.
Good point. Does anybody else have any questions when it comes to that or sharing Shakeology? No. And I'll just throw this out there because this was what I did today. You won't see me share a lot of, I guess, posts like drinking Shakeology or anything like that. Like you might see it in the background of a photo once in a while, but When I do share about it, I try to share about it in a way that I'm really sharing my story about it and how it's helped me. Or I do it in a way where I'm sharing like a recipe, like I did today, and I just talk about the benefits of nutrition and why that's so important. Because then I don't feel like a salesperson. I'm sharing what I love, what I'm eating, sharing a recipe that somebody else might find useful, or somebody might be curious and say, what exactly is that, and why is she so in love with it? Why has it helped her? You know what I mean?
Well, and if you're gonna share it like a shake, like share it like when you're in the car on the go to like a picnic, or like you're in the car on the way to like kids gymnastics or your own like class or whatever, and be like, it's so easy that like my breakfast is like portable and blah blah blah, and I know I get my own nutrients. Like obviously you guys all know this, but like stock photos and stuff like that are totally no-nos. That's very salesy. But you can share that like, I am a super busy mom of 3 kids and 2 toddlers, and like I often forget breakfast, and like it's super easy to throw it in a shaker bottle and shake it up, and then I have my breakfast, you know, like whether you're a mom or not. But
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's important to add how it's fit into your life and why it's benefited you. And if you struggle with that, maybe you should sit down and think about how Shakeology has benefited you and list those things out. And then, you know, take one by one, and you can create content around that too. Great,
One
guys.
time one time, the final one I was going to say is one time I did one that was kind of like the Got Milk but Got Shaco. I was just with my son, and he had it all over his lip, and I was like, oh my God. And it was just like red, and I was like, oh, this could be fun. So then I did the same thing, and then we took a picture, and it was just like Got Shaco. But it was funny because I think so many people liked it that I didn't expect, and I think it was kind of cool for them to see like I'm giving it to my kid. So
Yep.
obviously I would never give anything to my kid that wasn't safe for them. So it was kind of just a nice subtle way of saying like it's good for everyone kind of thing.
Absolutely. I've done that too. I think Lauren has too. I think a lot of us have. Feed your babies good nutrition.
My son's obsessed with it. He wants a shake every day. Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for hopping on. I hope that everybody took away something, at least, from this. And I'll make sure to post the graphic about the sponsorship drill down checking. And I will also post a graphic about what you want to see for upcoming team call topics. And make sure that you get on next week, and make sure to tell all your coaches to get on next week for the call with Kathy and Nick. I would like to have a really good turnout for them. And also so that everybody can really learn the nitty gritty of the business aspect of this, because that's really, really important to know. So thanks for hopping on tonight, guys. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.